fairy dust. Interstellar was directed by Christopher Nolan, stars Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway, and it tells the story of Cooper, who... Actually, I'm not even going to start with that. Okay, so the world is in a state of just terrible things. We've come to the point where we no longer need technology. All we need is food. Running out of food. Every season, a new crop just stops working pretty much. And then it comes upon Cooper to go into space and find a new planet to live on, to put it simply, which is hard. As you may or may not know, this is my most anticipated movie of the year. Christopher Nolan is my favorite director. And... it's hard to use this word in a context where the movie was still great. It was a great movie, but I was still disappointed because it wasn't an A+ movie. And I know that sounds weird. It's a disappointment because it's not an A+, but it's still fantastic. Great movie. We preface that right now. Well worth checking out. Watch it. Pay for it. Watch it on a huge screen. IMAX. Watch it. It's amazing. Probably one of the most important things about this movie, it looks beautiful, both from the visual effects point of view, because the special effects don't even look like special effects. They look completely real. The planets, the space, everything was fantastic. And secondly, the cinematography is beautiful. The camera moves fantastically. The shot compositions, although some can be reused a little bit, they're often reused to a really cool effect. And I like that. And the visual aspect of this movie was kind of predominant, because there were moments when you're just in awe looking at this. But I think the second most important part of this movie was the performances. And Matthew McConaughey blew it out of the water. He was fantastic because he played, I don't know, kind of, I guess, a stereotypical Matthew McConaughey role. He was Southern and he had all these philosophical thoughts, but he was fantastic. And there was one scene which I did not expect in this movie at all, in which I cried. I cried during this movie. And not even like, oh, it's a sad ending, probably an hour into the movie, there's just one scene that is gut-wrenching and is fantastic. Anyway, Matthew McConaughey blew it out of the water. Also, Anne Hathaway was excellent. Even though her character wasn't as deep as characters she usually plays are, she still did a very good job with it. And all of the cast, honestly, was very, very good, because there were many different parts. Jessica Chastain, Michael Caine, they all did very well. It is super ambitious. It goes a lot of places. The script is flying everywhere. There's so many cool ideas, so many cool quotes from this script, and I really, really got to give Nolan props for that, just for the sheer scale of this movie. It's really, really cool. It is 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and though at times you can feel it, most of the time you don't, and you're just completely in it, but especially towards the beginning goes on a little bit too long before you get into the action. But so I'd probably say if you cut out maybe 15 minutes of this movie, made it just 2.5 hours long, which is still a long movie, would have been amazing. That's probably my main problem, is that it wasn't very focused. It kind of just went a little too far in places that didn't need to, but in the end, it worked, and I'm not going to complain. Christopher Nolan is a masterful film director. I mean, he is just amazing. He's made 7 movies, I guess, and 6 of those 7 are in my top 25. I love his work, and although this isn't on par with movies like The Dark Knight or Inception, which are 2 of my favorite movies of all time, it is fantastic. Also, a cool little side note, I did get a really big Space Odyssey especially towards the end of this movie. There was this really cool vibe about 2001 Space Odyssey, and kind of clearly drawing something from that. And yeah, there's a cameo, I guess, in this movie that actually shocked me, because I did not know this actor was in this movie, but he did fantastically. Great movie. Great script, a little bit unfocused, and that's the main problem that this has. Fantastic acting. It looks beautiful. I give Interstellar an A, which, as I said, it's kind of weird calling a movie that I rate an A a disappointment. Should have been an A+, but it's an A. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.